What's up, everybody? This is Backlog Gaming here today, and for you I have a video about E3 2016. Now, there are some things I want to cover. I'm covering a lot of content about E3 2016. I'm trying to get it out as fast as possible, but I wanted to share with you guys all the games that I am interested in that have been at E3. Not all of these are coming out this year, but these are mostly AAA titles, as in they're big budget games. There's not any indie games in here. I think there's like one or two here and there, but there's not a whole lot of indie titles that I have in here, just mainly because I haven't gotten around to viewing them. So this is really going to focus on some big heavy hitting games, you know, the blockbusters that were in, you know, conferences, and a little bit of the floor, but not a lot of the floor. But we'll just start with the top, and I'll just give the name of it, and then from there I'll talk a little bit of why I'm interested in it. First one on the list that I have, and these are in no particular order, I just want to state that right from the beginning, is Mafia 3. Now, Mafia 3 I am interested in. It is an open world game set in the 60s, I believe, in a city modeled after the New Orleans, and it's supposed to be pitting the Italian mob versus they called it the black mob, which is African American mob of that time, pitting them against each other and kind of rising to power. And it's a great story, great atmosphere. Now, what sold me on this game that made me excited for it is I just watched an interview that was done today on E3 with it, and the music, the atmosphere, the gameplay, all are there with the game, as long as the story, and it looks like they're going to have a pretty story driven elements that you can make decisions in to differentiate your story from somebody else's, all seem to be very, very well planned out. If you haven't checked out Mafia 3, I definitely highly recommend it as one of the games of E3 that I am interested in. I feel you should check out. The next game on the list that we have is Final Fantasy 15. Now, I have done coverage with Final Fantasy 15 before, when I was doing YouTube videos. It is a title that I am extremely excited to see. Two things I came out of E3 that I've witnessed so far has been the Microsoft press conference. We had a playable demo that was there, that an individual was fighting a large golem or titan, is how it was worded, and the thing was massive. Unfortunately, he wasn't very good at the boss fight, so you did see him fucking up a lot, but he was pretty much just like holding out, and then you see how that transgresses. And then they had a special trailer that they went through and played with some good music to it that kind of showed some highlights. I was at the Sony conference, I believe, that they had that they showed just a brief snippet of it. But yeah, Final Fantasy 15, I already have this game pre-ordered, and I'm ready for the launch of that to happen. Another Final Fantasy game that was announced shortly before E3, but I still count it part of E3, was Final Fantasy 12, The Zodiac Age. Now, Final Fantasy 12, I never played the original PlayStation 2 Final Fantasy game. This game is going to be an HD remaster of that title, and it's going to be like the international version, and so I'm really excited to dive into that. So it will be a game that I'll be picking up on PlayStation 4 and playing. I do believe it is coming to PC sooner or later, but right now it's only been announced for PlayStation 4, so I will probably be day one on that. Also, since I view it as a new Final Fantasy game, since I never played the old one. The next one that I have on the list is God of War. The God of War reboot that is happening, I do believe this is going to be open world. Hopefully this game is coming in 2017. It looked amazing. It looked awesome. It's set in like a magical, kind of mythical area, environments. They look very nice. Combat looked very fluid. Character, we're actually maybe going to see some character development of Kratos. We are going to see that from the trailer that I personally saw. That's what I'm most excited for, is that I didn't really play the other God of War games, just strictly because at that time I was into other games. But yeah, I'm interested to see what they do with the series, taking a step forward from that. The next one that we have on the list is Horizon Zero Dawn. Now, Horizon Zero Dawn interests me. Again, this is another open world game to where the wildlife is robotic and there's going to be a story that drives you to tell you why. There are subquests in the game that was leaked in an interview that they are going to have subquests, but they're not really to give any details of it right now. But this game, keep your eye on this game. It is a PlayStation 4 exclusive also, but it's being released early 2017. Next one that we have on the list that I'm actually thinking about picking up, Call of Duty Infinite Warfare. Now, here's my strategy for this particular title. I know a lot of people are just picking up this game so they can get the remaster of the older Call of Duty. So I'm hoping a lot of them, what they do is they get the remaster and then they trade it in. And then GameStop just has a massive swarm of used copies of the game. So at launch, I'd be able to get it used for like $40, $30, since they just have an abundant stock of it that doesn't come with the remastered version. That's my game plan, is just wait a couple weeks after its launch and then pick it up maybe with some Christmas money or something like that. See how cheap I can get it. That's the main thing. See how cheap I can get it. But with this game, it's set in space. A lot of Call of Duty people that are on the franchise aren't 100% likable in that aspect, that creative churn of the game. For me personally, it looks fun to play. It looks like it would be enjoyable. It looks fresh, new. You don't get a lot of space combat games, and let alone you don't get a lot of shooters in space that happen. So from there, I'm definitely excited for that. Next on the list, I have Battlefield 1. Now, with Battlefield, they're going to have to give me something. EA is going to have to make special criteria with this game. I need a decent length story campaign that looks good and that is fun. I'm not a big online shooter, so the online capabilities of it aren't there for me. I just want to experience it as a single player game. So this probably won't be a day one for me, but it is a game I'm excited to play if they have single player mode, and from there to kind of see how that goes. But yeah, you guys know about Battlefield 1, so I'm not going to go into so many details about that. Next on the list, we have Mass Effect Andromeda. This is a game I am worried about. I thought they would have had a lot more to talk about at this E3 about Mass Effect Andromeda. They pretty much just gave you the same amount of information as they did previous year. So I'm worried. This game's supposed to be coming out in Q1 2017, I believe. And for that to be 8-9 months away, when we're not seeing a demo, a live demo, or something like the game, has me worried that it's going to be postponed, or there is trouble on the horizon. If there is trouble, maybe it's a creative aspect that the game's not coming out the way they want, and maybe they'll just shit can it all together, which I hope they don't do, and just eat a loss on it. But yeah, Mass Effect Andromeda, set in space. You're going to go to the Andromeda galaxy cluster, and then from there, you're doing a lot of exploring in it, and it's a Mass Effect game. If you haven't played the first three, you should. They're great games. This would be the next installment that is supposed to be a fresh start in the story. Next on the list is the Spider-Man game. That's a PS4 exclusive made by Insomniac. Now, normally I don't pick up a lot of comic book hero games. I pick up the Batman ones from Rocksteady. Those were decent. There was that other one, Batman game from the other one, the other company. I can't remember their name right now. I mean, I'm okay with picking those up, but I never really picked up a Spider-Man game or like an X-Men game or anything like that. I've really only picked up the Batman ones since, and I guess Injustice, as you can see the statue right there. That's pretty much all I picked up. So I am excited to play this Spider-Man title. I will probably wait for reviews of this title. I don't know if I'll be day one or not with this particular game, just depending on, the list is literally very long. There are a lot of games on here, so I have to be very choosy and very budget with my money. But Spider-Man did look good. The action scenes looked good. The gameplay looked good that they were showing. And if it's quirky like the new Spider-Man was in the film of the Avengers Civil War, then I'm hooked. You know, that would be a great experience for me to enjoy. Next I have on the list is Days Gone. Now, Days Gone is a zombie game, post-apocalyptic, and pretty much the zombies act like World War Z zombies. But you play a biker who is a hitman, mercenary. He does whatever job needs to be done in order to survive. If that means killing somebody, he's got to obviously go kill them for a bounty or something like that. It just makes sense for me to play this game because, one, it is a PlayStation 4 exclusive, and two, I do feel that it will have some type of deep story with it, as you kind of seen that things have gone to shit, and it'll be interesting to play. Next on the list, we have The Last Guardian. Now, The Last Guardian is coming out this year in 2016. I believe it's October that it is releasing, and this game has me hooked that a lot. It's been in development for a long time, but the main thing that hooked me is when I was watching the trailer, the dog with wings or whatever ends up falling, okay? And this is going to sound dumb. Ends up falling, gets hurt, and you kind of see the little boy soothing the giant animal. And me as a pet owner, it kind of strikes me personally that he cares for that animal. He cares for its well-being, and I feel that you're going to get a deep emotional connection with the animal, and it could really connect with me on a deeper level than most games. That's the main reason why I'm excited to play it. So, The Last Guardian, if you haven't heard about this game, I don't know where you've been, but it looks fun. It looks decent. Looks like it's going to be a great game. Hopefully it's at least good. But yeah, The Last Guardian. Next on my list is Detroit Become Human. This is going to be made by the developers that made Heavy Rain. I did play Heavy Rain, and at last gen, I did enjoy it. I enjoyed it. That's proper English for you. You make a series of decisions that end up affecting the outcome, and every single one's scripted. It's not like, oh, there's 3, there's like 20, and the trailer that they show you of the same situation of different outcomes. Looking forward to that. Basically, you play a character that is an android that's trying to, I guess, become human, is how I would phrase it, but he's doing a negotiation with another android that's holding a human sausage, and then he de-escalates the situation, or he doesn't de-escalate the situation. Depending on what you choose is what happens. It's going to be a great game. It's going to be visually stunning, and I'm sure the story is going to be good, whichever branch you go down. Next on the list, they were called Hit Before Kitchen, or now that you know it, is Resident Evil 7. Resident Evil 7 is a return to horror for them. Now, recently, I was able to watch a Let's Play of the demo to kind of get a sense of what the game they were going for. And I gotta say this, is that I didn't see any characters in it that are from the Resident Evil universe. That strikes me odd as number one, as a demo. I'm really wondering if this demo is just not even... It might even be like a prequel to the actual game, is how it makes me feel, that something leads to an investigation, and that's when we see somebody that we recognize show up. But didn't see any zombies in the Let's Play. Didn't see any of that. Did have a jump scare. Got a lot of a PT vibe with the house that's very creepy, very atmospheric. The atmosphere was done perfect in that game, but again, no zombies, so that was a little bit weird, and you kind of seen like biological stuff happening. I don't know. It's weird, but I honestly think it was a tech demo that they just tagged Resident Evil 7 on, and then maybe it's like a prequel to the actual Resident Evil 7 game, that you kind of figure out what happened to these people. Maybe these people are important, and you're investigating to see what happens with them. That's my thoughts on it. But more or less, I'm excited to play it, hopefully with somebody in the room, because scary games really get to me. Next one I have on the list, Death Stranding, I believe is what it's called. This is Kojima's new title. This one I feel isn't going to be out until, at least until between 2018 and 2020 is where I would peg this being released. It's going to star Norman Reedus from The Walking Dead. And it's just shows him, the graphics of this looked fucking insane. Looked really, really good, but weird trailer, awkward trailer. A bunch of dead sea life. Something that I don't think a lot of people are noticing is the oil, the amount of oil that was on the ground. I do feel that that's what killed the Sea Life. He kind of gets it on his hands and black blotches and whatnot, but something went wrong. So I'm looking forward to that. It's a Kojima title, so definitely looking forward to seeing more of that game. But again, we're not going to see this game for a long time, guys, so don't get your hopes up. Next one that we have here is a Nintendo game, Zelda Breath of the Wild. This title is a different approach to Zelda. It's open world. I've seen a lot of coverage of it today. It appears that it was Nintendo's main flagship of coverage for E3, which that's great for Zelda fans. And I think you announced Zelda and Pokemon. That's like all that you covered on your bases, from what I've seen. And honestly, Nintendo, it's like there's still IPs out there that you guys have that people care about, but you're in an awkward position to where maybe this is it. This is all we got. You know, we don't want to show you the NX shit first. We don't want to show that right now. We'll have that be a separate event. So maybe that's where all their heavy-hitting games are at, and then they're trying to just fizzle out with the Nintendo Wii U. But you could have strongly put an emphasis on the Nintendo 3DS and really showed the titles that you guys bring to the handheld market, because those aren't weak titles. They're very solid titles, very established titles. But Zelda is going to be open world. An open world RPG with stats on your armor. It looks good. It looks like it'll be fun to play. I've never really played Zelda games before, but this might be one that I might be interested in. It all depends on how the NX grabs me. If the NX is good, the price point of the NX, and what their exact vision of the NX is before I commit. I'm just tired of gimmicky bullshit. So if it's not gimmicky bullshit, that pretty much got me to where I can buy their IPs. And hopefully third-party support is there, because that would suck if not. But first-party support definitely needs to be there. Alright, moving on. Gears of War 4. Now, it's coming out for PC and Xbox One. Now, Gears of War 4 is a continuation of the story of Gears of War saga. It just looks good. It's Gears of War. It's more Gears of War, more gore, more action. Always down for that, so I'm excited for Gears of War 4. Next one that I have here from Microsoft is Halo Wars 2. This is a real-time strategy game that's being developed in the Halo universe. I'm excited to get this on PC. I do not have an Xbox One, so all these games I'm saying here, I'd be PC buying them, which is cross-buy, so... But with that being said, they need to run properly. Please, for the love of God, Microsoft, do not fuck your PC community in the ass like every other fucking developer when it comes to PC game releases, and make it just a straight port or something like that that doesn't run worth a fuck on our systems. Next one that I have here is Recon. This is the next game by Infune. It's different. I'm probably going to get it. I'm hoping it's on a $60 title. I hope it's a budget price, like 30 or 40. But it does, I mean, it's Infune. I'm going to try it out just to kind of see what his work is on it. How much was he actually involved in Recon, since this game was made in Texas. Infune's Japanese, if you didn't know by his name. So, yeah, doesn't really make sense. I don't know how he worked on it. Maybe he's the art direction or something like that of the game. But it'll be interesting to see how it all pans out. And hopefully it does well. Another game on the list, that's a zombie game, State of Decay 2. I never played State of Decay, the first one. I'm ready to jump in with the second one. It appears to be more online, like with people. Whether or not this is a bad thing is I'm hoping it's a survival game. But for the love of fucking God, don't make it to where people can fucking kill me. I don't need PvP bullshit in open world. If you want to have an arena shooter type mode to where people can kill each other, fucking put them there. But for the love of fucking God, do not put them out in the open world to where they can fuck me over. That makes me not want to play your fucking game. So if they don't do that, essentially, I'm not day one on it, but I'm definitely interested. Next on the list that we have is Scalebound. This game was shown at last year's E3 and suffered from horrible frame rate issues. Luckily, they have fixed those, and the game looks fucking awesome. This is one game that I'm hoping performs well on PC, like all the other ones, in order to pick it up. But you play kind of a teenager boy that has, or man, young man, teenager boy, that has a dragon. You can use dragons, and then it's going to have online co-op to tackle giant monsters. Reminds me a lot of Devil May Cry, kind of like hack and slash. His attitude reminds me of Dante. The music reminds me of Devil May Cry. So a lot of references to the old Devil May Cry. I'm not talking about DMC. I'm going to talk about Devil May Cry 1, 2, and 3, and 4. But if it's a throwback to that, that's great. Really looking forward to it. That one, I could be day one if it functions well on PC. Let's see here. Next on the list that I have is from Ubisoft. This one's going to be Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Wildlands. I have not been a big fan of the Ghost Recon series before. I've mostly stayed with Rainbow Six, Acer shooters, or Splinter Cell. I'm ready to branch out and try Ghost Recon. What caught me on this is the single player of how you can approach a situation multiple different ways with different tactics to achieve the same outcome. So I'm hoping the campaign's a decent length on this, and I'm sure the replay value will come in and difficulties will come in to effect with this. So you might get multiple playthroughs, which could be fun on how you tackle a problem differently than you did last time. Another Ubisoft game that we have here is South Park: The Fractured Butthole. The Fractured, and then it's B-U-T space hole, as in like the whole thing, not the butthole. So keep that in mind. It is a South Park RPG. Stick of Truth was great. From what I played of it, it was amazing. Great South Park fan here. So you increase the dynamics of the game and the funniness of the game, and you add a new story. I'm excited for that. If you do pre-order this, though, you do get the Stick of Truth for free. So if you don't own the Stick of Truth and you're thinking about getting into it, that's worth it to pre-order. I picked up, oh man, I think for like $12 I've picked up the Stick of Truth, and that was from like a Humble Bundle thing. Maybe even cheaper than that on a sale. So you can get it fairly cheap. So, but it's just a pre-order perk. I'm pretty sure South Park: The Fractured Butthole will be good game. Another Ubisoft game that we have on here, For Honor. This trailer played out with 3 different people from 3 different factions fighting one another. There's like a samurai one, Viking one, and then there's or Viking/barbarian, and then there's a knight. Very, very interesting. What sold me on this game, not only the trailer, but combined with the individual that announced it, his personality that he was giving off, the way he was selling the product was amazing. And from there, I'm excited. It's a medieval type game. It is going to have single player. It does have multiplayer. So I'm interested to dive into it and kind of see what it offers. Next that we have on here is Watch Dogs 2. This one is on the list to keep my eye on. If it's anything of a repeat of Watch Dogs, then it will be off the list. I don't want any of this bullshit to where you're putting graphics behind walls and locking off content from PC users. I find that is bullshit. You shouldn't be able to do that, and that the game should perform fine. With every Ubisoft game, I can't stress this enough, never pre-order their shit. I don't care what they're offering you as a pre-order bonus. Never pre-order their games. They have constantly fucked over gamers multiple times with issues, so you do not pre-order the game. You wait. Wait for somebody to pick it up, see it. You don't have to play it day one, and then come in later and then enjoy it if it functions perfectly fine. Do not pre-order it. Next that we have on the list is Attack on Titan. This is based off of the anime Attack on Titan. It's going to be cel-shaded like every other anime game that's been released this next gen, but it's Attack on Titan. So I'm interested in it, but I will probably wait for a sale to pick it up. Next one that we have on the list is Dead Rising 4. This is another zombie game. This is your over-the-top hack-and-slash zombie game. The trailer was very well done. The gameplay looks good. Lots of zombies on screen. I haven't played a Dead Rising game in quite a while, so it is and probably will be nice to dive back in and really experience Dead Rising 4. Next one I have on here is an indie title by Square Enix. It's called I Am Setsuna. Now, this game was announced before E3. It does come out here shortly, I believe in July or something like that. And it's a throwback to Chrono Trigger, the original SNES. So it's not super high budget graphics, but I do feel that it's going to be a great JRPG. If the story carries it, it could be a cult classic. on the systems. So it is something I'm interested in. It will be cheap enough that I could probably be day one on it. Next one I have on the list is by WB. It's Injustice 2. It's DC characters fighting, and it always looks good. And it looks like they're doing some interesting stuff with the playstyle to kind of freshen things up. I'm not good at fighting games. I won't say that I'm good at fighting games. In no way, shape, or form am I good. I just enjoy them on a single-player aspect level. I don't do multiplayer just because I get my ass handed to me. So from there, the next one that is on my list is a Square Enix game also. This is Kingdom Hearts HD 2.8. Now, I do have the other, like the 1.5 and 2.5, so I'm going to pick up 2.8 to take me into 3 whenever they decide to release it, but it's going to include 3 titles from the Kingdom Hearts games series, and then from there it's going to take us into Kingdom Hearts 3, so I think it even has a prequel to Kingdom Hearts 3. Next on the list, this game's been announced prior to E3, but it is still there, Persona 5. This game comes out on Valentine's Day in 2017. This title I am looking forward to because it's made by Atlas, and they're the shit, and yeah, it's Persona. It's focused around some high school kids that look like they appear to be thieves, and they're stealing shit, and it's gonna be great. So, Persona 5, looking forward to it. Lots of hype around the game. If you haven't checked it out, go ahead and just type it into YouTube, and you'll get a trailer and see if you can enjoy it. Next one I have on here is the Prey reboot. Now, Prey was originally released on the 360 by Bethesda. It was a decent game, and from there they are doing a reboot that has some Dead Space vibes. Alien symbiotes have taken over the space station, and it's your job to eradicate or do what you have to do to survive. So that is giving it a thumbs up. It looked good, looked interesting, looked fun. Next one I have on here is out shortly, if not out already. That's Star Ocean, Integrity and Faithfulness. This is a JRPG from Square Enix that is coming out. I haven't played really a Star Ocean game before, so I'm excited to dive into Star Ocean, Integrity and Faithfulness. If I like that, then I'll go back and try to get copies of the older games, if that's doable, or digital copies off of the PlayStation Network. Next one I have on the list is Styx, Shards of Darkness. Now, Shards of Darkness is a sequel to the prequel that was Styx, Master of Shadows. It's a stealth game where you play a little goblin, and there's like fantasy orcs and it's set in medieval times. Really great game. Just be aware that the first game launched with poor ledge detection. So, if that's the case on this one, you may not want to be day one on this game. You may want to wait until they fix the bugs. I played the first game after they fixed the bugs, and I had no problems with it. It was challenging, and it was a fun stealth game. Next up we have on here is The Walking Dead Season 3 from Telltale. It's Walking Dead Season 3. Of course, people are going to pick this up. Walking Dead Season 1 and Season 2 have been great hits, so Season 3, we're excited to see how the story continues with that. Also, what we have is Titanfall 2. This is now going to be cross-platform, not just on the Xbox. It is going to contain a single-player game mode and online, and it all looks awesome. Single-player looks a little bit awkward, as in the mechs have artificial intelligence of themselves, and they're aware of themselves, and outside of the pilot. So it's a little weird. I don't know if we're going to get the story vibe from the mech's point of view or the hero that's in the mech. But hopefully they do a good job on the storyline with this. It's giant mechs that are fighting. I like big mechs fighting. Makes me smile. So hopefully they do a good job with the single player aspect of this game. Multiplayer, I mean, I could play it, but I'm not going to play it a lot. Next that we have on the list is Yakuza 0. Yakuza 0 was announced a while ago, but it's part of the Yakuza universe, and I'm excited to experience the Yakuza universe. I haven't played the previous ones before, but I've heard good things from them, from like Alpha Omega Sin praises them, says these are fucking amazing, you guys have to play these. So I seen that was going to be at E3. Next on the list, we have another stealth game, Dishonored 2 from Bethesda. Dishonored 2, I never played Dishonored 1. I don't know why. I'm a huge stealth fan. Huge stealth fan. So, I don't know why I didn't play Dishonored 1, but Dishonored 2 captured my interest that I'm going to play Dishonored 1 before I play Dishonored 2. I do believe we're getting Dishonored 2 this year, November 11th. I think was the date on it. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I can't remember. Last on the list that I have, since this video is already long enough, it's about 30 minutes, is Batman, the Telltale series. It's Batman, it's Telltale. I pick up 99% of their games. I think the only one I don't have is Minecraft. So, yeah, it's Batman, it's Telltale. It's going to be a story. Hopefully it's something that we haven't experienced before in the Batman universe. I haven't really read that too many comics, so I'm hoping that it kind of shows the story arc of a comic, and I'm hoping it's done very, very well. Anyways, guys, that's it for the list of games that I have. What I'm going to be doing is, this is just an overall list of me talking about them and kind of giving you my impressions about them real quick. Is I will probably be doing discussion videos for a lot of these. Just really depends on how fast I can film them and get them up and edited and uploaded to YouTube. But anyways, let me know if there's a game that I missed that you want me to check out. Put that in the comments section down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe as always. And if you want to share this list with your friend because you feel like it's a good list, go ahead and do that too. I would appreciate it. Anyways, guys, that's it for me. I'll see you next time.